Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna take a look at this Medicom toy MAFEX Deadpool, but it's actually an AliExpress bootleg. I've had this guy for some time in my collection and I got him because I missed out on the original. This was back in the day when I was mostly getting only Black Series figures, and so my budget was directed into that, but I wanted a nice comic book looking Deadpool and I found this guy on AliExpress. They still sell him over there, so you can still get him even all these years later. I wanted to revisit this guy because I never gave him any love on this channel. I got him even before I started the channel, and so I wanted to make a review for him and a posing video, which will come to the channel a little bit later. Usually when you think about bootlegs, you think about them being cheap, and not just in terms of price, but in terms of the finished product. And I am really pleased to say that this guy is one of those good bootlegs, or even I should say great bootlegs. As you can see, the paint job is great. There isn't that many paint bleeding, which is always nice to see, and it feels sturdy. Nothing is falling off. The only thing that I had as an issue with this figure was actually my fault. I posed this guy a couple of years ago on my shelf and he took a dive off the shelf and his left arm broke off. So I had to open up this arm and had to fix the broken joint, glue it back together, and I think that I haven't lost that many movement or articulation in that arm. So as I said, that was completely my fault, you know, I should have been more careful. But other than that, this figure is fantastic. Here is a better look at the head. Everything looks clean. These black parts of the suit are not spilling over the red parts. Here it is from the profile and then from the back. I'm impressed with the paint quality as well. I mean, look at the logo here on the belt, how clean that looks. And all these pouches and the silver buttons that are painted. I can't remember how much I paid for this guy. I think it was around 20 bucks, something like that. That's kind of like the usual price for these bootlegs. Yeah, I mean, this guy looks so good that you would probably think that it's an original. I mean, I don't have the original to compare him to, but I would say that based on what I saw online, this looks almost identical to the original. Just overall, a really nice bootleg. Let's now take a look at his accessories. He comes with two alternate head sculpts, and they are full head sculpts, and they have two different face expressions. This one has like squinting eyes, and then this one is more of a goofy looking expression with one eye being more open than the other. You get 3 Deadpool head sculpts in total. There are 8 pairs of interchangeable hands, 2 of which are fisted hands that are already on the figure. You get a pair of gripping hands. These are meant to be used for holding his katanas, his swords. A pair of thumbs up hands, a pair of relaxed hands, a pair of more open hands, a pair of trigger finger hands, but spoilers, this guy doesn't come with any guns. He comes with a pair of pointing finger hands and then another pair of thumbs up and pinkies up hands. He also comes with 2 alternate belt buckles, so 3 in total because one is already on the figure. These 2 have also different expressions, so it's good to have those options as well. He then comes with a pair of handles of his swords, and these are meant to be plugged into his sheets that he has on his back, and these sheets are also removable. You can pull them off of this strap, so these can be plugged in like this, and now you have your Deadpool with his swords in his sheets. He also comes with a pair of his katana swords with blades this time, and this is where I have my only real issue with this figure. The swords came in bent like this, and I know what you're gonna say, you can straighten them out, and believe me, I know that. I tried everything. I tried heating them up with hair dryer, with boiling hot water, with leaving them for days underneath heavy books, and I never got to straightening them out. This one is not as bad, but this one my god, I mean, whatever I do, this blade always goes back to this position. And I don't know what's the deal, what kind of plastic this is that it doesn't want to bend back to its original position. I don't know what happened. And I feel like it's not just that it curves to the side like this, it also is not straight from this side. It curves here as well. So I'm not sure what happened, but it is what it is. Still, it's a knockoff, it's a bootleg, it's a cheap copy of the original, and if this is the only problem, the only issue that I have with this figure, then I think that it is still fine. I can always use another pair of swords because at this point I do have few of them in my collection. And so to hold these swords, you simply slide them into his gripping hands, and as you can see, it fits perfectly, so there's that. Let's go through his articulation. The head and the neck are on ball joints, so you get a lot of great range in that area. He can tilt side to side, rotates 360, can look down this much and then up this far. He has a butterfly joint that is good enough, I would say, and you can hear how tight those joints are. The arms rotate 360, they go out this much. We have bicep swivel, double jointed elbow that gives us this much, swivel in the wrist, and a standard MAFEX ball joint for the hands that can turn in any direction. We have two cuts in the torso, one is up here and the other one is behind the belt. On this first one you get tilt and rotation and a little bit of crunch forward and backwards. The other cut gives you the same thing, so together our Deadpool can crunch forward this much, back all the way. Look at this, this is crazy. We have a drop down in the hips and a thigh swivel. These pouches are on a hinge, so they go out of the way when you articulate the legs, so the legs can go forward all the way and then back this far. They move out this much. We have double jointed knee that gives us this much, swivel in the ankles, feet move forward this much, back this much. There is a nice ankle pivot and a slight toe bend. So all in all, this guy has nice articulation, something that you expect out of MAFEX figure, even though this is one of the older MAFEX figures, because the original was released around 5 or 6 years ago. It still holds up, it still looks good. Now let's compare our bootleg MAFEX Deadpool with some other figures. Here he is next to a few other Marvel AliExpress KOs or bootlegs. On the left we have amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech 2.0 version of Deadpool, and I have a review for this guy on the channel. If you're interested, go check it out. And on the right we have AliExpress version of Marvel Legends Juggernaut. Here he is with two more Deadpool figures. On the left we have Marvel Legends movie Deadpool, and on the right we have SH Figure Arts, also movie Deadpool, and this is actually an original. And I say that because I know that AliExpress also sells a bootleg of this figure. Here he is next to Marvel Legends Logan and Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Wolverine. Here he is next to a few other original MAFEX figures. On the left we have comic book suit Spider-Man, and on the right we have X-Force Wolverine. And finally on the left we have the newest MAFEX Mandalorian, and on the right we have Hasbro's Star Wars The Black Series Imperial Stormtrooper. This is one of those amazing KOs that you can find for cheap on AliExpress. If you are a fan of Deadpool, and especially if you want this look and the original is too hard to find, which I assume that it is after all these years, this bootleg is a great way to go. There is no paint bleeding, the sculpt looks beautiful and clean, and you get a lot of great accessories minus the guns. And the issue with the swords could be just something that happened on my copy. It doesn't mean that it will happen to you. There's no quality control, and so that means that you are trying out your luck, and what you get, you get. That's how it goes. So if you are a figure collector, you probably already have some of the guns in your collection which you can give to this Deadpool, so it's not a big deal. But those were just my thoughts. Now I would love to hear yours. What do you guys think about this AliExpress KO? Do you have it maybe in your collection, or do you maybe plan on getting it after you saw this review? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. As always, a special thank you goes out to my supporters on Patreon for helping me to keep this channel alive, and of course to all the rest of you guys, thank you so much for watching, thank you for being here with me, and I'll see ya in the next video.